Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm a homeschool mom and a CPA and also an online entrepreneur preparing to move abroad. And today I'm going to show you how to create viral Pinterest pins that bring non-stop traffic. And I do this all in less than 1 hour each week. I'm sharing my exact process for designing pins, so you can use that in Canva and you can get started even if you're new. And if you want, I have some free Canva templates and tips linked below to help you out. Okay, let's go ahead and jump right in. So as you scroll through Pinterest, these are some of my pins. You'll notice some pins just grab your attention instantly. And that is the power of a good design. It tells a story at a glance and it makes people want to click. And if I had known how important pin design was when I started, it would have saved me so much time and frustration. So the first thing is I'll show you how to find templates in Canva. So go to your home page in Canva and then you're going to click on templates up here. And then you're going to scroll through. If mine automatically brought up Pinterest pins, if yours does not do that, you will have an option here to choose your design type, and so you're going to just click on Pinterest pins. So this brings up a ton of Pinterest pins that I can choose from, and I recommend picking 3 or 4 that you like, that really stand out to you, that have a clear design layout where you can easily swap out your own pictures in your branding. And if you just choose 3 or 4 at a time to use, that just really saves time and it helps you from starting over each time. So once you see something that you like, you can, let's see, for instance, this is a good clean layout. You can either hit this star button here, or you can hit these dots and open it to customize it and save it to your own dedicated Pinterest folder. So that's a nice one that you could do. This one would be good if you had a recipe. That's a nice clear layout. And here's another one that's nice that you could use and easily swap out your image. So you can just star those and those will be in your starred folder for you to then go in and customize. Now I'm going to show you how I create a pin from a template based on one that I created myself from my blog post. So here are my templates that I've created, and I'm just going to use this one as an example. So when you get to the pin that you want to use your template, you're going to create a copy of it because you don't want to override the changes of the template. So you're going to click these dots right here, and then you're going to hit make a copy. And then your copy will be here at the top of your folder. So here's the copy that I just made. So I'm going to change the name of this copy to reflect what my current pin that I'm working on is about. So mine is after school snacks. So you just type that in and it will change the file name, and then you click on it to open it up. And then once it opens up, I have 10 pins in here from the last time I used this template, and that's how many pins I usually do for one blog post at a time. So I'm going to just delete all of the pins except for one, because I'm just going to work with one to update, and then I'll make copies of it later after I update it to reflect my current blog post. So I'm going to delete all of those and then double click on this one that I'm going to work on to make it big again. And then I'm going to swap out the fonts. So usually when I'm looking for fonts, I use 1 or 2 different fonts that are clear and easy to read. So for the main text here, like fall conversation starters in this example, I would use a big font like Open Sans or Lato. Big bold letters work best because pins need to be readable even on small phones. And I avoid cursive or script style fonts because they can be hard to read quickly. And then also I usually stick to one font color, but sometimes I'll use 2 for a variety. But too many colors can be distracting and it can take away from the message. So good Pinterest font colors are things like pinks, purples, and oranges because they catch your eye without feeling too harsh. And you can also test different font colors to see what your audience likes best. And then usually if I ever change out my background color, I usually try to stick to a white or an off-white, but make sure that the text doesn't blend in because you want the text to pop off of the screen and you don't want it to be too light or blend into your background. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my list of titles that I'm going to use for this pen. So the first one is 15 healthy after school snack ideas. So I'm just going to copy that part there and paste it in. This is my main text. And then my text up here was healthy. So I'm going to type in healthy. And then I'm going to increase this font size just to fill up some space. The bigger you can get it without it, going off the page or something like that, the better, because that means it's easier to see. So then I'm also going to change this number here because this one says 50 and my blog post now is about 15 healthy snacks. So I typed in 15 there. Then I'm going to look for some images that would go well here. So you would click on elements over here and then type in a search term. So I'm going to type in healthy snacks and then hit enter. And then I'm using photos. So I'm going to click here to see all photos that came up for healthy snacks. And then I'm going to look through here to see which pictures I might like to use for this blog post for this pen. So I'm going to pull in this first one. That looks good. And you can always double click on it and drag it to the side or however you want to. So I'm going to drag mine more to the middle. And then I'm going to also update the color. So let's look for a good red color because that's one that pops on Pinterest. So I'm going to click red and it's going to change that. And then I like to have usually all of my bold text matching. So I'm going to also change that to red. So I'm going to go up here to effects and change that orange to the red. And then I'm also going to change this line here where I have my URL, my website name, to that same color red so everything matches. So that's it. When you get your pen the way that you like it and you have made all the edits you need, then you're going to copy it, make an exact copy by clicking this up here. It's duplicate page. So now I have an exact copy of the one that I just made. So now all I'm going to do is swipe out the picture and the text. So let's go to my list here and we'll do a couple more. So the next one I have is simple after school snack ideas for teens. So I'm going to put that into my text here in Canva for my copy that I just made. And I'm going to adjust the font because that's a little bit too big. Okay, and that was simple. So I'm going to change healthy to simple. And then the last thing I'm going to change is the picture. So I'm going to go back to elements. And you see here it still has saved where I was searching for healthy snacks. So just choose one that you like and drag it in there. And I'm done with that one. Then we can do one more. I make a copy by hitting that duplicate page button. Then I go back to my list of keywords that I'm going to put on there. So this is super easy after school snack ideas for kids. So I'm going to type in super easy. And then the last thing I'll do is swap out that picture. Okay, and then right there I have 3 pins that I just created super quick just by duplicating the copies and changing the words and the images on there. So one thing to mention is pins that have numbers on them usually do better. So instead of just having a pin that says, like in this example, healthy after school snack ideas, I have that 15 because that draws attention and it shows clear value when people are scrolling through to look at pins. Also, don't forget at the bottom of your pen or somewhere at the side to have your URL. That just helps with branding and recognition. So when people see your content, they know it's you. So usually I put mine there at the bottom or sometimes on the right hand side, just in small font. Also, I use Canva Pro because it gives me more access to stock photos and design features. But when I first started, I used the free version, and you can absolutely do that too. There are still plenty of great templates and images there to get you started on the free version. So another thing you want to do is make sure that you test different layouts. Here's some more examples of my pens: fonts, colors, and images, just so you can determine what your audience likes best and what works best for you. I had to do that a lot through trial and error when I first started to figure out what my audience liked as far as the visuals on pens. And then again, like I mentioned, choose 3 or 4 templates that work really well for your pens, and then stick with those instead of always creating new pens from scratch. And that will really save you time, and it will help you to figure out what works. And by the way, if this has been helpful, feel free to subscribe so you don't miss more Pinterest tutorials and tips like this. So to recap, choose a few templates and stick with them. Use big, clear fonts and simple color palettes. Batch create pens by duplicating and tweaking. Always brand your pens with your website. And test and rotate your designs out to see what works best. When I was figuring all of this out, I made a list and also a document with my favorite Canva templates in it, and I'll link that free pack below if you want it to help you get you started faster. Thanks so much for watching this video. If it helped you, please subscribe. I share content to help women create peaceful, successful lives on their own terms. I will see you next time. Take care.